comment if you're watching later. Thank you. It. You see me? Is this it? Found it. Okay. Let's try. Okay, that should be easier. Hey guys, actually I might go down. I might go downstairs. Hold on. Quake-ademic lightning. What does that mean? What, are we having lightning now too? Might as well have everything while we're already having everything. I'm gonna move downstairs. This is actually very uncomfortable. Okay. I live in Utah and I felt the earthquake while getting ready for work. It was terrifying. It was so scary. Where do you live, Gabe? It was so scary. I'm not kidding. Like, here's the thing. Danny's gonna do drills with me tonight because when it happened, I woke up and my first instinct wasn't to like run to the doorway or to run outside or to run to safety. My instinct was to freeze. So that's what I did until it was over. And then I got up and went and found Danny. It was crazy. She felt it in Texas. It's probably a different one. It's crazy. I swear the world is ending, guys. Something's off. There's something behind me. What do you think it is? You can guess. Ooh, sneaky. You slept through most of it, Paul? Well, it might have been stronger for us because we're closer to Magna than you. I'm glad you didn't feel it. It was really actually terrifying. And our poor little birds, oh my gosh. Will do, Darce. I'm with those people, Libertine. I swear to you, it's the end of the world. I'm one of those people. Yeah, I'm glad most are safe too. Thanks, Becca. Yeah, it was really scary. It was like 7 something in the morning, 7:04 or something like that. And I was sleeping and I felt it. And my first thought was, okay, it's just another mini earthquake because we live on a fault line and I'm not a sensitive sleeper when it comes to noise, but movement I am. And I tend to sleep really late in the morning and sometimes into the afternoon. And that's when most of our little micro quakes seem to happen. So I feel them all the time. Nobody believes me, but I do. We have little tiny micro quakes. And so at first I was like, oh, it's just one of those. But then it got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just started freaking out. And then I just froze and like stayed under my covers, like shaking and freezing. And I got up, same thing, same time Danny got up and we met in the hallway over there. And our poor little birds were just scared out of their minds. I've never seen them that scared before. It was so sad. It was so sad. As soon as I can move, I'm gonna go downstairs. I just need a break first. Hold on. I live in Utah, Pleasant Grove, Utah. So the earthquake was a 5.7 and it was what, 20 miles north? Does that sound right, Paul? Maybe? Hi, Max. I would rather put in my bed than the bathroom. I know, right? So scary. Oh, you were gonna tell me where you live. Hold on. Did you ever tell me, Gabe? Oh, Sandy and Draper. Okay, that's where you live. Yeah, that's way close. Isn't that like 5 minutes away or something? I've never been in an earthquake either, other than like the little mini tiny ones that barely anybody notices but me. Because like my bed will start. I have an old bed. I've had this bed for 22 years. Same mattress, same frame, same everything, same box spring, everything. So my bed moves really easily. So I think that's why I'm able to feel them when I'm asleep more than others. But no, I've never felt one that big before. It was really scary. Hi, Jenna. I'm just telling you the end of the world is coming. Oh yeah, you can't see your boyfriends and girlfriends. Dang, that sucks. You can have a phone call makeout session. I'm not telling you to have phone sex. I'm telling you to call and be like, hey, isn't this so romantic that from across the town we're both going through the same thing, but we're not together. But at least we can look up to the stars. We can know that you and I are both looking at the same stars and the same moon. And that will get us through this Armageddon stuff. That's what you do. I miss my girlfriend too. I'm right here. Hello. Oh, that's funny. Really? And like people outside of Utah are kind of laughing at us because they're like, that's nothing. But to us, that's a big deal. You miss your boyfriend too, Mags? Okay, I think I'm going to try and move downstairs. I know, right, Janet? Wait, did the whole thing fall off? Wait, did he completely come off or just his little trumpet thing? What's that called? Just the trumpet. Okay, I thought you meant the rest of it. I'm like, what? When did that happen? And there was a big crack in the building too. Did you see that? Yeah, on our Salt Lake temple, there's Angel Moroni at the top. It's like this gold statue, and he's holding like a, what are those called? Golden trumpet. Yeah. And the trumpet broke off and fell down. He didn't, I guess. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to move down. When do you guys think this will be over? Do you mean the quarantine or the earthquake? With the earthquake, they said to expect aftershocks for 24 hours after or something like that. And then, let me get my stuff together. And then from there, as far as the other stuff goes, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. I'm just trying to aid my own, what I think is like a sinus or a throat infection or something. I'm trying to rest. Oh, that's great. Look how healthy my hair looks from that angle. Wow. It never looks healthy. Okay, where did I put the tripod? Oh, man. Oh, man. Y'all, entertain yourselves for a minute, okay? Be right back. Say hi. Sure. Who's Chris, Maggie? Do you mean Christ? She said I had a dream Chris was coming. Chris Kringle. Christ. That wouldn't surprise me.
Surprise me. If Chris just showed up.
Oh, if Christ did. You're a dork. You want to come say hi?
Just for a second.
Okay. Looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh, I feel like crap. You're just waving your crotch for the world. What's happening? He has a smile on his face. Like, it's so funny. Okay.
It's funny.
Are you and your crotch just gonna stay in the frame?
Yep.
Nice. Your little sister's here. You know that.
Hi, Maggie.
Such a dork.
Hey, I heard Chris was coming, so I just want to,
Hey, Danny, you survived the earthquake too.
I did.
When did you wake up? I don't think we ever talked about it.
No, I woke up right.
I
Well,
don't
so
think we
I
ever
was.
shared experiences. We
Well,
just
I was
found
already
each other.
awake. I'd been awake for like
So you felt the
maybe
whole
half
thing?
an hour. Yeah, and I was just on my phone, just trying to wake up or whatever. And I heard the windows rattling, and it usually happens when like a big
Yeah.
truck kind of passes by
Or a wind.
or wind.
Burst of wind.
And then it didn't stop rattling, and then the whole room started shaking. I'm like, and actually, what got me out of bed was the birds freaking out because they were just fluttering around out there.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you got to think. I mean, they're in that cage, and it was probably going crazy.
Yeah. They were scared when I saw them.
Yeah.
When I got up. That's so sad.
Yeah. And then.
Did you see them before I saw them?
Just barely. Like I opened my
How were
door, and they were all on the ground or on the bottom of the cage.
On the bottom of the cage?
Yeah, because they were fluttering around. That was the only place they could go. It was dark. They couldn't see anything because they were covered. And then you opened your door, and that was that. So.
Scary. Have you ever been in an earthquake before? That's big enough to notice?
No.
You've never lived anywhere. Well, yeah. You probably were in
did.
Missouri.
I can't remember.
Or Texas.
Yeah, I think we had one in Texas.
I've never been in one this big.
But nothing that got like damaging. Nothing that forced us to leave the residence or anything like that. So
yeah.
it was minimal. Pretty minimal.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up. That's really cool. Oh, the floor is shaking. Yeah. Did anything fall off?
No.
Stuff we
I
really should check.
looked around and I didn't see anything that fell. Even my room with all the toys and stuff everywhere, nothing happened that I could tell. Shop was fine. So.
Love the blue chair.
No, I'm gonna go downstairs and work.
Okay, I just realized I'm feeling really woozy. Like I need to throw up or something.
Why?
It's not good because I shook my meds.
There's what?
Because I shook my meds.
Oh, well, you're about to lose this, so. What are you doing? What's the plan? Hello?
Hold on.
Oh. We're waiting.
Give me crackers. Give me soda crackers. Just Ritz. Oh, I feel like crap.
Maybe you shouldn't do this right now.
Are they gonna open it?
No.
What's me gonna do? I feel like painting or cleaning her. What's the date on it?
Just barely. Don't worry about that.
I do worry.
July 2020.
Thank you for telling me. Are they canceling flights in the U.S.? I think international ones, right?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
They canceled it on Salt Lake because that's where the quake was. But no, people can still fly. We're still flying here
How do you know that?
because the FAA hasn't brought out anything as of late.
Have you checked today?
Yeah, because they were talking about the airport all day.
There's one cold one in the fridge. How much do you love to do tonight, hun?
I just got to do all the receipts and stuff for the last piece of that show, and then just want to get a little bit ahead. It's a pretty easy show for me, so I'm trying to get a little bit ahead so that I can start working on round 2, the next show.
Thanks, dear.
Do you want some crazy bread? They gave me 2. Okay.
Yeah.
I have mine downstairs. So.
Why'd they give you 2?
Well, it was, they gave me one, and I'm like, hey, you want another for $1? I'm like,
It's warm. Did you just barely get it?
yeah, that's all we went from Walmart. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. So I got
Oh, the comments weren't keeping up. That's annoying. Okay. Thank you.
Are you good for the day?
Will you turn that light off? And you're gonna trigger people's epilepsy. They all look bad. Just pick one. They all look terrible.
You look great.
I feel like crap. Yeah, I called my doctor today to see if I could get in. Not gonna happen. And they were like, we know that it's a big worry in our community for the CV whatever virus and coronavirus, and we urge you to go and either have like a doctor call you or something, or like call the hospital or go to the hospital. And I'm like, no, because the news has been telling us to not do that, so I'm not going to do that. I don't even want to go to like an Instacare or anything, because I want to save that for people that are dying, and I'm not. So I just have to kind of wait it out, but talk to my sister whose husband is a doctor, and they think the breathing is very minimal, but there's a problem there, but it's not like hugely bad. And same with the cough. The cough is kind of deep though, and it's like a dry cough in my chest. But then it started with my throat and my ears, like super sore throat, stuffy head, stuffy ears, painful. And now it's like kind of still stuffy and painful, and it's just, I don't know, it's weird. The C virus, that's funny. Can you breathe in and hold your breath for 10 seconds? Probably not. I don't want to do it. That'll be embarrassing if I fail. Can someone count? Oh, I can look at the clock. Okay, ready? I can't. I knew I would fail. You're setting me up for failure, Paul. Nope, can't do it. Sorry. Wait, does that mean something? No, they're not. That's a COVID test? What do you mean? Like that's how they would test for it? Oh. Well, that sucks. Well, that's wonderful, Becca. Okay, hold on 1 second. You really should be quarantined to one room. The virus lasts for 3 days minimum on surfaces. You don't want to be carrying the bacteria all over the place. Why? If I already have it, what does that matter? And Danny thinks he gave it to me, because I have the worst immune system in the world, so I catch whatever Danny catches at work. And he said that there were some girls at his work that were really sick with like the throat and the ear and stuff, and I think he's the one that gave it to me. He just wasn't affected by it. I just think he was carrying it. But I don't think it's the coronavirus. I think it's just like it could be, I don't think it's strep, but it could be something like that. I don't know. It could be corona, but I doubt it. No, I'm not leaving my house for sure. I've already made that decision. I've self-quarantined for 2 weeks. Danny has to leave the house because he has to. We can't like so far production for his work is still on. We can't afford him to miss work, and so he just kind of doesn't get too close to me, and I don't know. He's also very, thanks Ashley. He's also very he's very, you know, like the opposite of paranoid, and so he writes off everything. It's like, it's not a big deal. Calm down. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But I'm like, it kind of is. Hello. No, I can't even go outside and smell the roses. I know. It's a tragedy. What work does he do? He's in the film industry, and he builds props mostly, and he's the prop master for Studio C. So if you ever watch Studio C skits, that's my husband. All those props, he made them, or he found them, or I made them. I get to make all the food props whenever they need food. One time I got to make an entire Thanksgiving dinner, and then I couldn't even eat any of it, which really sucked. And then last time I made 12 burgers. What did I make? I forget. There was something else I made too. That kind of stuff. So he's got an interesting job. So normally he jumps from job to job, and that's how it works in that industry, is you just keep your eye out or your ear out for the next project and try and hop on board. But Studio C came back and offered him to sign him on again through September. So that's really cool. So we took it, of course, and yeah, that's what he does. So right now it's prep week. They usually go back and forth. It's like prep week and then shoot week and then prep week. This week is prep week, so he can prep from home, luckily. But he still has to go to like his warehouse to find some stuff. I don't know. Studio sweater. Person who just texted me, no, I don't see your comments anywhere. Wait, what's wrong with Libby? I don't see any comments from Libby. I don't know what's happening. Hi, Marla. Try again. My decision to move to America. Thank you, Karina. I see you. Thank you. I will try that. My decision to move to America to live with my cousins so I can have new life, but I feel I will hurt my 3 family people here. How old are you, Libby? Aren't you a little too young? Aren't you like 16 or something? You look really young. Maybe not. I don't know. This is good garlic bread though. It's really good. I agree with what Libertine said. Libby, I would tell your family your feelings, but ultimately do what's best for you to make you happy. You're 17, okay. I know you've had a horrible childhood. I'm so sorry. I don't know how it works over there. Are you allowed to leave? Are you considered an adult? I don't like myself. I agree. Their bread is more flavorful than the pizza. I completely agree. This has been a really, really crazy week. Like, scary, crazy for me personally. You can make fun of me all you want. You can call me paranoid, but my anxiety is through the roof. Like it's almost getting to a point where I cannot turn on the TV anymore or go to Google because the top story is the coronavirus or now the earthquake. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of just like, no, Becca, I didn't. I have a lot of messages I need to check and I'm the worst and I haven't done it yet, but I will, I promise. Hang in there. Thank you. And I appreciate those that are, I don't know. You're close to deleting all your social media. Yeah. People really don't realize how hard it is for those of us that have mental illness, whether it be anxiety, depression. Depression kind of could be affected, but mostly anxiety and like PTSD. Anyone who has those two things, this is just a terrifying time. Hi Emma, I miss you. How are you? Did you enjoy the earthquake this morning? Pizza is somewhat like cardboard at Little Caesars. It sort of is, I guess. I like it though, probably because my tongue hurts all the time, and so I know I want pizza too. I'll just keep eating garlic bread. Sorry, guys. What the heck, Lauren? Check it. I feel like there hasn't been any positivity in our local news channels, and it makes me sad. My Instagram is bogged down with sad stuff. I know that's making so many people more depressed. Yeah. I, in particular, don't know if I feel depressed. I don't think I do, but I do feel anxious and a little triggered. Scary thing though. Stay safe, Karina. I don't know. First the fires, then the virus, earthquakes, tornadoes are happening, hurricanes. If you read the Bible, then you've probably read it. You're welcome. Oh, sorry, Tiff. I know, me too. It's bad. Well, why don't we do something fun then? How about we could do like a comment karaoke, or I could sing for you, or we could play a game or something. Let's get our minds off of it. How about that? Thank you. I know. Thank you, Sam. What kind of game? Could play Never Have You Ever, and everyone can just kind of answer. I don't know. Shanny trivia? That'd be fun. Because you guys know me way better than I know myself. It's crazy. And it's like a little scary. I'm not going to lie to you. So, except I don't even know how we would play that. How do you play that? Do I just ask you questions? Never have I ever. Hi, Shanny. Hi. Okay, everyone wants Never Have I Ever. So let's do that. Tiffany said, I've never gotten to play Never Have I Ever. Now you can, Tiff. Can you see the comments? Let me know if you can, and I'll read it. I'll read it out loud anyway. So, okay, someone give me one. Should I start? I'll start. Never have I ever felt safe in Utah. Just kidding. Never have I ever. Never have I ever been to New York City. I know, right, Darcy? Can't help it. It's how I feel. Okay, never have I ever been to New York City. I've never been to New York. You have, luckies. Never felt safe in Utah because I've never been in Utah. I love that. Ah, never, Becca. Okay. Oh, Casey, Caitlin. Anyone in America? Anyone here from America that has not been? You saw Colleen in New York. I know. Oh my gosh. And I still have the playbill. It's sitting right there on my fridge. It's pinned up to my fridge for motivation. And gratitude to remind me if I go to the fridge to binge and purge. I don't anymore because I see that and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what brought that beautiful gift to me was me doing my channel and trying to do better and finding Darcy and finding other wonderful people and then it being there and I'm like, oh, that would just be like taking a shit on them if I just like meh, and give up and then do it again. So that's what it is like in my brain. Okay, do I do another one or do you guys want to do another one? Do we have a new one that I've missed? Oh, I feel dizzy. I don't know how long I'll last tonight, by the way. I'm probably gonna go when my bedtime meds kick in, so I don't know when that will be, so just be prepared. And I also just had to take a pain pill, so be prepared for that too, because I get kind of crazy sometimes. I actually don't. Well, maybe I do. People tell me I do, but I'm like, I don't feel crazy. My head hurts. And my butthole too. And my stomach and my cramps. By the way, I'm still bleeding. I'm still bleeding. That's not normal. Cool. Even if I wanted to get my endo surgery, now I can't because the doctors don't have enough freaking masks to do the surgeries that are needed. So if you've got health problems, we're kind of screwed for a little while until all this blows over. Night, Em, I love you. I hope you're okay. I really do miss you, girl. Getting a headache. Okay. Never have I ever snuck out of the house as a kid or a teenager. That's from Becca. I definitely have. So many times, yes. The one that I remember the most is, well, there's a couple. I think I already told you about the party that I went to with like the gay people and lesbians like having sex and making out. I don't think I've told you guys that. Maybe I have. I don't know. But the first one that pops into my mind is that when my mom got remarried, she married Rob, who had two daughters, Liz and Julie, who are my stepsisters, which you guys have heard of a million times. And they're amazing and I love them. And we're all very close in age and we were all teenagers when our parents got married. So we had a lot of fun bringing two families with teenagers together. So anyway, we snuck out one night and we went over to a church parking lot and just like hung out. We didn't do anything. We just wanted to rebel. So we snuck out the window because it was past curfew. So we snuck out and went to the church and someone saw us and called the police on us. And so we got in major trouble. And then not even, I don't know when, but not very much later, we all took a trip to Boston where my stepdad grew up. And he was taking us of like a tour during the city or the place that he grew up. And he took us to was it the Sleepy Hollow? I don't know, some cemetery. And he was like, yeah, we used to sneak out at night and go to this thing. And I was like, are you kidding? You grounded us for 2 weeks and you snuck out and went to a grave site in Boston in the middle of the night? Are you kidding? So we will always give him crap for that. So anytime he
calls us out, we make fun of him for that. Be like, you did way worse. You put yourself way more in danger. We were literally 2 blocks away from our house, and you rode your bikes out into the darkest, scariest place that you could imagine that's in Boston. Oh my gosh. And even the cemetery there, it was so creepy. Like, I've never experienced a cemetery like that. Probably because, I don't know why. Our cemeteries here, are they different than other places? I don't know. I guess I wouldn't know because I haven't been to very many. But definitely it was different from Utah cemetery. So I was like, are we in a movie? Like, that's how creepy it was. So, what was the question? So yes, I've snuck out. Okay. Never have I ever been drunk. That's from Becca. I have never been drunk. I tasted alcohol once. We're not going to discuss it in case my mother's watching. But it was not great. I didn't even get it, to be honest. But so no, I've never been drunk. I have been high many times in the hospital, but never drunk. Never have I ever smoked. I've never smoked either. I always wanted to try, but I would get worried that if I did try, I would get addicted and then wouldn't stop, so I'm not going to. Plus, I have terrible lungs, so that's not a good idea. Have I done marijuana? No. Mm-mm. I've never done drugs and alcohol. The only drugs I've had is like pain pills, which I just took, so I'm going to be loopy in a minute. Pain pills, or like when they give me an IV of pain pills in the hospital. That's the only thing I've experienced, I guess. So people have told me that's kind of the same feeling as getting high on drugs, like marijuana and heroin and stuff, is by doing that, I guess. I don't know. But no, I've never done like illegal drugs or drugs. I don't know. I haven't. Mm-mm. Oh golly, the pain pills. Okay, I'm looking for a new one. My head hurts. You smoke medicinal? Is that dangerous? Isn't that like illegal? Wait, you smoke medicinal? What does that even mean? Wait. Oh, so you have like medical marijuana? Oh. Why do you need that? Do you have cancer or something? I'm so sorry if you do. Oh no. I don't know what any of that means. I'm really like not even a normal human. You do legal marijuana. Oh, why do you call it medicinal then? Why don't you just say marijuana? I don't understand how it works. CD oil, I've heard that's a miracle worker. Who else yawned? Never have I ever, no. I do a lot of likes instead of a lot of ums. I do ums too. I do a lot of likes. Just go watch one of my videos. It drives me insane every time I edit a video. It drives me insane because I have no idea I'm doing it until I go to edit it. And you could play your own drinking game and take a drink every time I say like, because I do it every like 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, literally, I do that. So, really cool. Never have I ever burped that alphabet. I have not. No, I'm not good at that. Never have I kissed a girl. I have kissed a girl, sort of. Have I kissed a girl? Wait, are we gonna talk about that on the internet? No. Damn it! You're taking advantage of this pain pill, Darcy. I know you. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You're taking advantage. You know that when I take a pain pill, I open up and I just say all the secrets and all the things. Yes, I have kissed a girl, and that's all I'm gonna say. I kissed a girl and I liked it, but then I married my husband and I like him more. I kissed a girl just to try it, but now I want to kiss my husband forevermore, 'cause he's a really good girls are beautiful. I agree. Next. I saw a different one. Where did it go? Hold on. I think we've all kissed a girl. I feel like all girls have kissed a girl at least once, right? I don't know. Isn't that something that just happens? Either with like a truth or dare, or I don't know. Is that not normal? Well, you've never kissed a girl, huh? Okay. I will say I've never made out with a girl, but I've kissed a girl. Do you know what I mean? Is there a difference? Okay, never mind. No, I haven't kissed a girl. I have no life. Same. That's how I would be these days. Want to give us your making out tips? I have made out with a gay man, like full blown made out. He wasn't out yet. He came out the next day to me. So basically I was the last girl that he made out with, and that sent him over the edge of being able to come out as gay. So that's really cool. And that has to do with the sneaking out thing that I told you. I was dating him, and he's such a cutie pie. In fact, I ran into him recently. He's so cute. He's got a husband and a kid now. But he's such a sweetie. He always has been. And we were dating just for a little bit, like maybe 3 weeks, maybe. And we were making out on the tramp, and I like totally let him touch my boobs. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching. And then that night, he was like, we should sneak out and go across the street to my neighbor. We'll call him. We'll call him. Why can't I all of a sudden think of any names? We'll call him. What are we? We'll call him Pickle, okay? So we went to Pickle's house, and Pickle. Okay, so let me start over. This is a great story. Okay, so we have Pickle. No, let's start with me. Okay, we've got me. We've got the gay guy that I made out with, but he wasn't out yet, and he touched my boobs. We're gonna call him Pickle. Okay, so me, Pickle. No, I don't like Pickle. Sweater. Okay, I'll call him Sweater. So me and Sweater were making out, and he's like, "Hey, we should go over to Pickle's house because they're having a party tonight." And I was like, "But Sweater, it's almost to my curfew." And Sweater was like, "Well, just sneak out and do it." And I was like, "Okay." And so then I can't think of any names. Give me a name. Someone give me one. Paul. No, I can't use you for this. No, that will go south. John. Let's do John, okay? So John, Pickle. Pickle, I want to keep Pickle, okay? That's for sure. So start again. There's me. There's John. And John's the gay guy that I made out with, let him touch my boob. And then there's Pickle, who is also gay. And he lived across the street from me. And he came out to me maybe a week or two prior to this, because I also had a crush on him, because I was always attracted to gay men. So I had a huge crush on him, and he told me he was gay. So I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna work. And so then whoever this was, what was his name, John or something, he was like, yeah, we should go to the party. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I sneak out, we go to this party, and there were like gays making out and girls making out and people having sex in the back room and stuff. And I just was in my sweet little like innocence was like, I need to go. And so I went, and I went back home, and I had left the garage door open just enough for me to squeeze through. So I was laying down on the floor, and I came through, and then my mom was standing right there in the garage, and she was like, so she knew. And it was like 3:30 in the morning, so I got in big trouble. And then the next day, John called me, and he's like, hey, I need to talk to you. So I go and sneak out of the house again because I was grounded. So I sneak out, and I go to his work, and we're talking. He's like, I just need to let you know. He's like, here's the thing. You know when we went last night to Pickle's house? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you know how Pickle is gay? And I said, yeah. And he said, I don't know how else to tell you this, but I kind of have a crush. No, he said, he said, "Didn't you have a crush on Pickle?" And I said, "Yeah, but he's gay." And then he said, "Well, I think I have a crush on him too." And I was like, oh, okay. Like, not judging, but like, you're my boyfriend, so what are you saying? And he's like, "But I still like you, so maybe I'm bisexual." And I'm like, oh, that's flattering, I guess. So that's it. I broke up with him. I'm pretty sure John did tickle the Pickles pickle. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they dated after that. So I was not an obedient child. Starting after the divorce, I was not. Nope, nope, nope. I broke every rule in the book that I can. Well, most of it. I would sneak out with boys, and I would do, what else did I do? I really was a rebel. But that was all like what's the word? Like a psychological reaction. I don't know what I was just gonna say. Can we please move on? Rebellious Shanny, yes. I'm trying to think of other stories I could tell you. A lot of them are just like sneaking out and going places I'm not allowed to go, like parties where there weren't any parents there. But that was the only party I ever went to where I felt weird and I felt uncomfortable. And so I left and made, I don't know why I felt uncomfortable. So, because normally I would have stayed and like, who cares? But something made me feel uncomfortable, so I left. I don't know if they were like doing drugs or if they were going to, I don't know. There was just a weird feeling where I was like, oh, I probably should go home because I'm scared. I don't know. But we all know the story of, do we all know the story? Wait, I might not have told that on here. The story of what happened to me and my friend when we went to a random guy's house for a party. Who here has not heard the story? Because this is the scary part of rebellion, children. Listen up. Anyone? You haven't heard it? Do you want to hear it? Okay. Tiffany's heard it. Okay, I'm just going to tell it because there are a couple of you that have not heard it. Okay. So I was 15, 16? I think I was 16, maybe 15. I don't know, something like that. No, because I was a sophomore, so I was 15/16, somewhere in there. And I had just got started high school, and because that's what we do in Utah. Our high school is grade 10, 11, and 12. Most other places it's 9, 10, 11, 12, but ours is just 10, 11, 12. So I was a sophomore. I was brand new to high school. Nobody liked me. I didn't have friends. I had very few little couple of friends. My best friend, well, she was there that year, I guess. Anyway, so one night I was with my friend. We're going to call her Janice. Janice and I were hanging out, and she was like, hey, I heard that so-and-so is having a party. And I'm like, who is so-and-so? And she goes, I don't know, but I saw a flyer, and it said that every single person in the school is invited. And I was like, are you kidding me? That's amazing. This is our chance to be popular. Let's go. So we sneak out. We lie to our parents of where we're going. We go to this house alone. Because I don't know how we got there. That's the only thing I'm confused about. I don't have the full memory of this story, but somehow we got there. I don't know if she drove or someone dropped us off. I don't know. But anyway, we get there to the address and we're like, it looks really empty in there. Shouldn't there be hundreds of people and dozens of cars? Like, what's happening? So we decided stupidly to go knock on the door to make sure that this was the right house. So we knock on the door. Crap, I should have told you the other story first. We'll get to that later. Okay, remind me there's another story after this. So we get to the house, we knock on the door, and this guy opens the door. I didn't recognize him. And I was like, okay, this is weird. And we were like, is this where the party is? And he's like, yeah, come on in. You guys are the first ones. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. So we come in and he slams the door behind us, locks the door, and like stands by the door as if he's like locking us in. And I turn around and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just keeping it safe so no one else gets in. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, go sit on the couch. And I was like, no, I think we're gonna leave. And he's like, no, go sit on the couch. And so me and my friend, who were terrified, went and sat on the couch, and we were like, hey, this doesn't feel right. We need to leave right now. And all of a sudden they, like 3 other guys showed up, and I just remember we were sitting in the living room really scared, didn't know what to do, and we kept saying that we needed to go, and like it was our curfew and we needed to leave, and they're like, nope, we're not letting you leave. And then they brought out what the people on Instagram explained to me. I didn't know this at the time because again, I don't know anything. Was like one of the bong things that where it can go airborne so that the drugs are in the air. They brought one of those out, and I started to feel weird and scared, obviously. So both me and my friend kept trying to leave, and they just wouldn't let us leave. It was terrifying. And then finally, this 4th guy comes in the room, and I look at him, and I'm like, oh, I recognize him. And I'll tell you the story after this from where I recognize him from. He comes in, and we both lock eyes, and we hadn't seen each other since like elementary school, so it had been a few years. And he looked at me and he's like, are you who I think you are? And I was like, are you who I think you are? And he was like, guys, you can let her go. She's cool. Let her go. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. So they let us go. And the next thing I remember is being at another guy friend's house of ours. And I have no idea how we got there because we were both very, very high. So there's that story. The story that goes along with it that I should have told you first is when I was a child and I was in 4th or 5th grade, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in there. I was bullied a lot for my weight, and there was this boy that would bully me the most, and he one time brought a porn magazine to the park where all of my classmates were, and he opened the porn to the centerfold where she's naked and pointed out every body part of hers that mine did not look like ew, you have boobs but they don't look like this, or ew, she doesn't have jelly rolls on her stomach like you do, or ew, her butt isn't big like this, and she does, like, he just went to point out everything that she had or that I didn't have that was attractive, and it was really, really painful. And there were a lot of kids around. There was this boy that was there that I would have thought would stand up for me because he had in the past, but he didn't do it. He was so scared. And where it's connected is that the guy that saved me that night from that party was my bully. And it makes me, I don't know, it was almost like I forgave him like that because I knew what it meant. We both knew what it meant that he locked eyes with me and was like, oh my gosh, are you the girl I tortured for years? And I locked him and was like, are you the guy that tortured me for years? And then he was like, guys, let her go, she's cool. Like, I feel like that was his way of apologizing, and that was my way of letting go of it. So isn't that crazy? So like, we hadn't seen each other in 4, 5, 6 years, and all of a sudden I'm in like the scariest situation where these men are not letting me go and locking me in their house and bringing drugs, and there's no one else there, and it's really creepy. And then my biggest bully from elementary school comes in and lets me go. Isn't that insane? I know. So the point is, children, don't rebel, because what if my bully hadn't walked in? What if nobody else had been there and the other guys were not going to let us go? We tried everything. We tried talking them through it. We tried getting up and trying to leave. They wouldn't let us go. So imagine what wouldn't have happened if that dude didn't walk in and recognize me and let us go. So if you're going to sneak out and do things, whatever, like, be careful of the people you're hanging out with. Don't go to parties of people that you don't know who they are. In my opinion, don't go to parties unless the parents are there. If you're in high school, if you're still a minor, do not go to a party unless there are chaperones and parents. I'm telling you, especially this day and age with all the, like, what's it called? rape drugs and stuff like that. Like, you gotta be smart, and I was not smart. That was really stupid. And I got really lucky, and I got really blessed that that happened. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we were gonna be raped for sure. Exactly. This is proof that people can change for the better. I agree. And the older I got, because I was always wondering, why didn't he go to our junior high and why didn't he go to our high school? And I heard that and I already knew this during elementary school, he would come and he had bruises all over and he would smell like drugs and stuff and alcohol. And he was like 10 years old, and he would do drugs at that age, and you could tell that like he was being abused at home. And then the older I got, the more that was confirmed that yeah, he was being super abused, and his parents were drug addicts, and he was addicted to drugs and all this stuff. So like, I don't know, my heart just opened for him right when I saw him, before he even let me go. Just right when I saw him, my heart opened, and I was like, oh, you were a kid once, but you're a grown up now, and how are you? I don't know, it just was a weird connection. It was so bizarre. So yeah. Anyway, cheers. And by the way, I've tried to find him on social media. Can't find him anywhere. Right? Human connections are so powerful. So true. Okay, let's do another Never Have I Ever, because those are bringing up interesting stories that I forgot I had. So ask another one. Girl, Shanny, we were wondering about that flyer. Why would your friend tell you if everyone was invited? Because the flyer said that. And we were the only two people stupid enough to show up to people that nobody else knew. Because they were apparently the druggies of the school that were never at school, so nobody knew who they were. And they wanted to throw a party, and they did throw a party, but we were the only people that showed up. So that's what ended up happening. Right, Julia? It's scary. Kids are doing these things they shouldn't do, so much younger than anyone I ever knew did. Yeah. I was always a coward and didn't go. Well, I'm glad that you did the right thing. Wait, is that what you're saying? Oh, you weren't a coward. Have you ever been in a fist fight? No. I don't think I have, no. I mean, a fist fight would require you hitting back, right? So no, I have not. Never have ever slept in class. Always. I do have a story. This is so cool. We're bringing up stories that I didn't even know I had. I mean, those last ones I knew, but this one I didn't know. I remember one time I fell asleep in keyboard class. Children, if you don't know what that is, they used to make us take keyboard class on a computer that was square and very bulky and very old, and like what you would see on Lost in Hatch. That was what our computers looked like. And I was really good at computer. I was really fast typer. And so I would get really bored in class, and I would just kind of like finish before everybody else the assignment. And so I remember this one time I fell asleep in class, and I fell asleep on the keyboard, and it went so far, like it filled in the whole space of the page to the point that it started beeping. And so it was like beep, 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 beep. And so I wake up and the teacher's standing over me like, I was like, stupid computer ratted me out. But to be fair, I had finished my work, so I was a good little student. I was only taking a nap because I finished my work. I also had drooled all over the keys. Is this not normal? I'm not a normal human now.
What is normal?
Not me.
Not me.
Yes, I have, Miss LaShonda. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for you. Yes, girl. Have you ever been in school and bleed through your clothes and had everyone staring at you? I have a great story for that too. This is so fun. Okay. So in 7th grade, I'm sorry that happened to you. 7th grade, it was right after I'd started, like a couple years after I started my period, because I started pretty young. I think I was 11. I don't know. But that's normal in my family. Like my mom started when she was like 9 or 10 or something. But anyway, it was new. It was like our first day in this new class. I forget what it was called, but it was in like a shop area, like I don't know where you would hang out for a minute.
I'm gonna lay down.
I want to hear your stories too. It's
I
quarantine.
don't have any period stories.
Why is a quarantine?
Is what?
It's a quarantine, and they need entertainment for the quarantine.
I'm not quarantined.
I am.
No.
They are.
You do your stuff.
Love you.
That's
Anyway, so I go to this class, and they were teaching us how to use, what are those called? Where you stand in a box and then they slowly lift you up. Like what Eric would use to fix a light. What's like the elevator thing.
Like a scissor lift?
Yes, a scissor lift. So they were teaching us what that was, and we each got to take turns, like 5 people at a time, going in it. You can see where this is going. I was wearing white khaki pants at the time because that was in at the time, and I didn't realize I was leaking, but I get up there all the way to the top, and all of a sudden I hear everybody laughing, like hysterically laughing, and I was like, oh, like laughing along like I had no idea what was happening and still didn't know. Nobody told me. So I get down, we finished the class, nobody told me, and then right when the class got out and I was walking to my next class, this sweet girl in the class, and I actually didn't know her at all, she comes up to me and she was like, sweetie, let me cover you. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like walking behind me and she's like, do you have like a sweater? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, honey, there's blood all over your butt stain. And I'm like, and she's like, that's what people were laughing at. She wasn't laughing. It was mostly the boys that were laughing, but it was humiliating. So there's my story. Thank goodness for her. At least it only came out in one class. At least I did have a jacket, so I got a jacket, tied around my waist, and called my mom and told her to come get me. Good times. Right? I know. It's crazy. I know, a scissor lift in white. If I knew they were gonna do a scissor lift, and if I knew I was gonna start my period that day, I would not. Because, like, here's the thing, TMI, boys, or anyone. I get a lot of discharge naturally, like more than the average I've heard, or at least I did back then. So that's what I thought it was. I didn't think it was a big deal because I had just had a period like a week or 2 prior to that. But this was the age that right before I got diagnosed with endometriosis. So that's when I started getting periods every like twice a month, or I would just bleed for longer, or I would bleed and then stop and then bleed again for 3 more days or whatever. So it was a very confusing time. I wish discharge and blood felt the same. I get what you're saying because they do feel different, but as a kid and my first experiences with it, it didn't feel different to me. So I was like, it's fine. It's just discharge. But no, it was blood. What other stories? Okay, give me a never have you ever, and let's see what other stories come out of this brain of mine that I completely forget about until now. I was in high school and I went in the bathroom to clean up as good as I could. Oh, honey. But I needed a new change of clothes, but I didn't have any, even though I put protection on. People thought I didn't notice. Oh, poor thing. That's so sad. And like, I lived in the day, we didn't have cell phones. I couldn't just call my mom. I had to walk to the office. I had to walk with the thing tied around my waist to the office to call my mom. You couldn't just like text her or call her. We didn't have that back then. Never have I ever sang on stage. Many times, but not solo. That's not true, actually. I've done solos, but it doesn't go well. I don't sing solo for people ever. But yes, I've had a lot of all of a sudden, look at all these memories are like flooding into my brain. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one I should tell. I should tell this one. One time we were doing a choir concert because I started in choir as soon as they offered it, which was 7th grade. Before that, I did like the musical in my elementary school, and I was the star of Taming of the Shrew. I got to play Kate, and it was amazing, but we didn't really sing in it. But I would sing at church as a little girl. I would get really nervous, but and the older I got, the more nervous I got, so I stopped. What was the question? I just lost my train of thought. Crap. Ew. What was the question? Oh, so later I started singing in choir, and something that we were always taught in rehearsal for choir was to not lock your knees because you'll pass out if you do for some reason. I think it blocks blood to your brain or something if you lock your knees. So you already know where this is going. So we were doing one of our first choir concerts and we were practicing for it. Wait, it might have been the live show. I feel like I'd remember if it was though. Okay, I don't know if it was the live show or just the practice, but I was on the back row because I was tall for a girl, and I locked my